welcome back to another awesome episode of Wine, Hops, and Road Stops, and we are back at the Beer Stop in West Hazleton. I'm with my good friend and co-host, Alan. Alan, how you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic.
Oh, it's a great day to be alive and to sample some good beer. What do we have in front of us today?
All right, well, last time we did a lot of the more pale ales and IPAs that you like, so it's winter, it's getting colder. We're doing some more of the dark beers, which is much more my style.
Well, there's nothing like sitting around on a cold winter day and drinking a good stout or a good porter.
Yeah.
We also have a special thing that just came in. We have the Pabst Blue Ribbon
Yes.
coffee beer.
Yes.
Is it even a beer? It's not even a beer, is it?
It's not even a beer. It's much more like a Frappuccino, kind of like we did a couple of weeks ago. But this is the Pabst one, so Pabst being Pabst, it's a little lower priced. But you're pretty much in that same flavor spectrum.
Hey, man, I'm not a nice coffee drinker, but I'll try that. Why not? We'll get to a viewer question right now, and a lot of people ask me this. What is that stuff on the bottom of a beer? You know, on the bottom of a beer bottle, sometimes you see a little bit of a sediment, a little bit of stuff, we'll call it. What I say is don't send it back. There's nothing wrong with your beer. What is that in the bottom of the beer?
Well, I mean, if you have Coors Light, Miller Lite, Budweiser, there's something at the bottom of your beer. Yes, there is something wrong with it.
Right.
Yeah. But with most of the microbrews, particularly wheats, hazy IPAs, any of those beers, they actually tend to use a less filter so that more stuff goes from the mash into the beer. So you're actually getting a little bit of sediment, almost like you would accumulate in wine, into the beer. And a lot of the bottles on the back of it will even tell you, pour your beer 3/4 of the way out, then swirl it around so you get all that good sediment in the beer, because it's a lot of flavor, and then you pour the rest of it into the glass.
You're seeing that a lot with these New England style IPAs, these hazy, juicy IPAs. They're all the rage. You're seeing that sediment in the bottom of them, right?
Yeah, particularly spring and summertime. It was hazy left and right. Everybody, New England, West Coast.
We even have one here by Ballast Point. It's a New England style IPA, and that's all the rage. And you hear us talking about this a lot on the show. And I guess we should explain what a New England style IPA is. They're purposely hazy and cloudy. These brews usually have a smooth, creamy mouthfeel. They're different than that dry mouthfeel you often get with the West Coast IPA. And like I said, we're going to try one today, right?
Yes, from Ballast Point, which is from California. So even California is doing the East Coast IPAs as well.
Right, because they're usually called New England IPAs or East Coast IPAs.
Yeah.
And then the West Coast ones are like the old school ones, like Dogfish Head.
Dogfish Head, yeah.
Would be considered a West Coast IPA just because of the style.
Yeah, Lagunitas, Dogfish Head, all of those with really, as we went through before, the dry hop, wet hop. You know, most of the dry hop beers.
Last episode, right?
Yeah, tend to be your West Coast style IPA.
It helps to watch all the episodes. Yeah, follow along. This is something we were talking about last episode. So that's what's going on in the bottom of your beer. If you have a craft beer, don't send it back. Chances are it's yeast. It's yeast sediment, right?
It's yeast sediment. You'll also have a little bit of rind from the fruit, could possibly settling in, particularly with wheats.
Like you said, if it was a domestic, send it back.
Yes, yes.
The craft beer is probably supposed to be there.
Yeah, if you open your Corona and you see hazy on the bottom, yes, send it back.
Yeah, get it out of there. Okay, that was a viewer question. And if you have a viewer question, best way to get in touch with us is Facebook. Facebook.com/Wine, Hops, and Road Stops is our Facebook page. Go there, like it, follow us, ask us a question or two, send it in through the messenger, and we'll get to it on a show whenever we can. Okay, so we're going to take a real quick break. We're going to come back with some booze news, and we're going to come back and try some of these beers. Don't go away. We'll be right back with more Wine, Hops, and Road Stops after this. Welcome back to Wine, Hops, and Road Stops, on location again at the Beer Stop in West Hazleton. Right now we have some booze news. And again, seltzers are in the booze news. Four Loko. We remember them. Notorious Four Loko, we'll call them. How's that? They are releasing a 12% ABV hard seltzer. Four Loko's hard seltzers Black Cherry checks in at 12% alcohol by volume. It's sold in a 23.5 ounce single serve can. And more flavors are going to launch throughout the year, I guess if this one does well. Now, according to the company's website and the caption of the Instagram post, it's the hardest hard seltzer in the universe. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, Craft Brew Alliance's pH Experiment launched Pacer, which is a 2% ABV hard seltzer. Hard seltzer category has crossed the $1 billion threshold in August. Hard seltzer sales could triple that size over the next 3 years, according to a report by beverage analysts. What do you think about this hard seltzer craze? They're just tacking on that ABV up and up and up and up.
Yeah. Well, they're not sure what's going to happen yet. Everybody's predicting this, predicting
Yeah.
that. And the only reason why they're predicting increase of sales is for the majority of places and cities don't have any of it yet. So it's not 100% coast to coast yet. So they have to figure, well, it's got to increase if it gets everywhere. But is it going to be a trend that just kind of falls on its wayside or not? I don't know. It's tough to say.
Four Loko wants to have a very, very big hard seltzer. We're
Yeah.
talking 12%.
Yes, and I mean that's targeting a specific market. The Four Locos as it is now.
People don't want to get drunk really
No,
fast.
I mean you don't show up to many parties and like you and your neighbors are sitting around with a bunch of Four Locos. It's just
Right.
you know, yeah.
It reminds me of kind of when the craft breweries were fighting to see how big they can make their beers.
Yeah, yeah. And theoretically, when you're thinking, you know, an average beer is 4%, 5%. So a 24-ounce can of Four Loko at 12% is really like drinking a six-pack in a can. So
Get it done quick.
yes, that's pretty much what it's made for and pretty much what it's used for.
We've showed a lot of seltzer on the shows this
Yeah.
season because that's the thing. And you know, I was just amazed that there's going to be a seltzer that's 12% alcohol.
12%, yeah. That and the real big thing everybody's waiting for is Corona's coming out with an actual seltzer.
Oh.
And Corona, just with the name, you know, always goes huge.
Right.
Everybody at least wants to try it.
Name
Again,
recognition, yeah,
right.
sure.
We'll see if it has legs, but that's the next, you know, big thing that should be hitting in the next, hopefully before Christmas.
All right, next up, we're going to try some beers. Again, what do we have in front of us? Let's go down the list again.
All right.
For the people just tuning in now.
Okay. Most of the stuff what we have is darker beers for the wintertime.
For you.
Right, for me. Darker beers, a little bit more full-bodied, a little bit more of that like alcohol burn on it, and it's more kind of just a relax, have one beer on a cold night.
Yeah.
But we are starting with the Ballast Point Grapefruit Sculpulin, which we talked about. And this is the beer that has a little bit of sediment on the bottom.
Okay.
So if you leave just about like a half inch on the bottom, just gently swirl it up a little bit, and then just pour the last little bit in your glass. Then you're getting all of the good stuff in.
Yeah, okay.
Because you don't want to leave all the flavor in the bottle.
Now, this is considered a New England style IPA,
This would be the New England style, yes.
but it's not really, I mean, it is hazy, but it's not.
Yeah, particularly when you drop that last bit of sediment. I bet
Oh, yeah.
mine's probably more hazy
Yeah,
than
a
yours,
little bit hazy.
just because I got the last bit.
It's a great nose on it.
Great nose on it. For an IPA, it's very light, just super refreshing.
Okay, this is a grapefruit. Mm-hmm. Anything I've had by them, I haven't had a bad beer yet by Ballast Point.
No,
So it's,
no.
I put them up there with the rest of the big guys that
Yeah.
I like,
Yeah,
like
they're-
Trogs and Dogfish.
Victory,
Like,
yeah.
yes, Victory. You can't really go wrong with a Ballast Point.
Yeah.
And this one's good. It's not as juicy as like when you hear the words New England style IPA.
Right.
You're thinking, you know, juicy.
Well, the
dank.
juicy really is also coming from the grapefruit, but the grapefruits are kind of tart to begin with. So you're not getting the sweetness, you're getting a little bit more of the tartness
Yeah.
of the fruit.
Oh, it's tart. It's a
Yeah.
little tart. I wouldn't call it sour, but it's a little tart. All right, next up we have another Ballast Point beer.
Yeah. This is their porter, so we're getting into the darker tones now. It's Victory at Sea.
I don't think I've ever had this one.
It's one of their newer ones that we don't usually get here. It's coffee and vanilla. And I'm
Ooh.
always on the search for a beer that I can actually taste the vanilla in.
You could smell it.
So,
Oh, that is a nice big
Yeah.
nose on that.
yeah, you get the sweetness of the
Yeah.
vanilla in that. That's really nice. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
That's really good,
That kind of
actually.
sound creepy. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's good though. Oh, wow. There's a great big nose. Real lot of vanilla there.
Yeah, a lot of vanilla. and what's
man.
nice is you still get the coffee, so you can kind of separate the vanilla from the coffee flavor.
Yeah, there's a little bit of coffee taste on the back end, which is that's a
Yeah, that's
good
actually
beer.
a really nice beer. What does that come in alcohol, does it say?
Yeah, I'll check that one
Yeah,
off for
check that
wifey.
out.
Wifey will like that one.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a
a
good
really nice one.
Yeah. Wow. See, again, Ballast Point.
Never-
so far, so
never
good.
goes wrong.
Yeah, I've never had a bad beer by
No,
them.
no.
That's a thumbs up for that whole entire brewery. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now we're going to move on to a different brewery. 3 beers from the same brewery from Omegang.
And the great thing, I love when beer companies do this. All 3 are the same beer,
Okay.
but they're different finishing processes. So 2 of the beers, one of them is the 3 Philosophers aged in a bourbon barrel. The other one is 3 Philosophers aged in a wine barrel. And then the other one is a 3 Philosophers with a whole bunch of stuff added at the end, which is a Belgian Creek with cherries, blueberries, and coffee. So it's kind of everything in the kitchen sink.
That
But it
sounds
all
weird.
starts with the same beer, which is
Okay.
kind of fun.
Now, do a lot of brewing companies do this?
You do get some every now and then. They run in there. They call them like beer series, and that they'll try the same beer, age it in a wood barrel, an oak barrel, and a Sequia wood, just to try and see how subtle differences are.
All right. Well, let's get rocking here.
First
with
is
the
the
3 Philosophers.
Yeah, first is the bourbon.
Okay, so this is. You should get a nice smell of bourbon.
Yep, a lot of bourbon.
Okay. Well, that's smooth.
That's almost like doing a shot. I mean, that's just you just feel it trickling down your throat.
I was expecting more burn to it, but it's smooth. It's nice. I like it. Oh God, I could finish this easily. This is oh, that's a good one.
9.5%. So in terms of bourbon aged beers, that's not really that high. I mean, a lot of times they'll get into the 10, 12, and I mean, if you get like the really crazy ones, they get up to 20-some percent.
So, like you said, it's not a huge beer, but it's
No.
big enough, and is that because of the aging process?
It's the aging process and also aging in the bourbon barrels. You're soaking in all that flavor and everything that the beer that the barrels have, and there is some alcohol in that as well.
Like I said, I expected it to be not as smooth, which is good.
Yeah.
I could drink a lot of it.
And
Next up,
this is in their wine barrels. So it's again the same beer, but aged in wine barrels instead of
Okay.
bourbon barrels.
Now the nose wasn't terribly different than the first one, but the taste, there's a lot of wine taste to it.
Yeah. A little like cherry. It's much more subdued though. I mean, it's not like a triple or a quad normally tastes.
Now this will be the same ABV probably.
This is 9.3%.
Okay,
So you're still in
And
that
it's-
same realm of things.
it's smooth.
It does not drink 9.3 now.
The one thing I'm seeing so far,
Yeah.
the first and second ones in this series, very smooth, like extremely smooth. I did not expect that. I expected a little bit of bite at the end.
Yeah, and you're right. The nose is fairly
Very
similar.
similar, very
Yeah.
similar nose. And you're not going to get a lot of, it's not a lot of nose. The second beer we tried, the
Yeah.
first in the stout series, we'll
Yeah.
say, this Ballast Point one, there was a lot more nose to it. That vanilla really punched
Really
it.
hits you, yeah.
Yeah. These, not so much, but there's a lot of flavor to them, and they go down smooth.
And there, and again, Omegang is another one of those breweries that they just make great stuff.
Yeah.
So this is
across
their
the board.
Yeah, this is their 3 Philosophers with blueberry, coffee, and a Belgian Creek.
Now this one sounds weird.
Yeah, this one I don't think is as much aged as it is. They just took their quad and threw more stuff in it.
Eh,
It's kind of all over the place.
yeah, it's a little weird. This one I probably, if I had a choice between the 3, it wouldn't be this one.
Yeah, you're getting much more of the like if you like the Framoise, like the Belgian Creeks. This is definitely one because it's a little bit more on that.
That's closer to like a Belgian style
Yeah,
than the first 2 were.
Yeah, it's a lot of the Creek one, and I'm not really getting any blueberry. I'm getting the cherry, but not
Yeah.
the blueberry.
Yeah, there's that Belgian taste to this one. That's all I could say.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
if you like Belgian beers.
If you like the Lambics.
Yeah,
I mean
right.
that's
go
right.
to,
in that,
go to the
yeah,
third one here.
that's,
This blueberry coffee one. 'Cause I don't really taste coffee. I really don't taste blueberry.
No. So, and this is 9.7%.
So that's the biggest one too.
Yep. So if you want a Lambic, which is normally in the like 3 to 4%, but you want more alcohol, there's your guy.
Yeah, I could see that. That's real similar to that. And they're usually, those lambic beers are usually really low.
Yes.
The
Yeah, because they
alcohol
tend to use
content.
even sometimes fruit juice as one of the ingredients.
Right.
So
3 beers, 3 different processes pretty much,
yeah.
and 3 different tastes. Overall, the bourbon one I thought was probably the best. Now, the second one was really good too. Third one, not so much. It's just not my style.
Yeah. And if you're at your house and there's a gift pack with the 4, so there's the regular 3 Philosophers and 1 each of these 3, And it's just kind of fun if you have some friends over. Everybody tries, down the road like we do.
Yeah.
And it's, just something a little different.
And a great gift.
Yeah.
Coming to Christmas time.
Yeah.
Okay, last but not least, this is what I've been waiting for.
Here we go.
And I don't know why I've been waiting for this.
Pabst Blue Ribbon.
I love disappointment, apparently.
Coffee milk.
Oh, well, it smells like coffee.
Yeah.
It smells like my morning.
Yeah. And this is one that you actually have to shake on the bottom of it because there's actually chocolate on the bottom of it.
This is pretty good.
I mean, it's just as good as the other ones we tried. It's a milkshake with alcohol. Is really what it comes down to.
Yeah, it's
If you like those frappuccinos, the Starbucks ones, or iced coffees.
yeah, it's iced coffee with some booze in it.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a third. It's $1 less than the other ones, which is kind of a nice thing.
it's gone.
Yeah.
It was good. It's really easy
Yeah.
to drink. I mean,
It is. It's chocolate milk.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all there is to it.
yeah, pretty much. It's not really a lot of coffee taste to it.
No.
There's more chocolate flavor to it than anything. So yeah, it's.
Yeah, there's chocolate and milk, and less on the coffee
So
side.
I mean, if you like that kind of stuff, the frappuccino kind of
Yeah.
stuff, and you want to get a little kick.
Yeah. And there's no alcohol, burn or anything in it.
So what's the
whatsoever.
ABV on it? Like how big?
I think it's
is that?
4.5, so I think it's not over the top.
No, but it's not slight either.
No, it's the same as
It's a normal beer.
Yeah.
So there are the beers for this episode. We start off with a New England style IPA, talking about the sediment at the bottom of it, and it's a grapefruit IPA, so you're going to get that grapefruit tinge to it. Second one, also by Ballast Point, that's a porter. Very good. That was a vanilla coffee porter.
Yeah, I think that was the winner for today, actually.
Yeah, that was excellent.
that was my favorite.
Then we got 3 beers by Omegang. 3 Philosophers Series. We had bourbon.
Bourbon, wine barrel, and then a blueberry coffee with Belgian Creek.
Yeah,
So it's
crazy
got
stuff at the
everything,
end there, yeah.
everything but the kitchen sink.
Right, I would just call it that. Everything with the kitchen sink,
Yep.
that's what it tastes like, actually. And you were saying closer to a lambic than anything, like a real
Yes.
boozy lambic.
Yeah.
But the other two I preferred, the bourbon and the wine, both excellent. And finally, last but not least, we had Pabst Blue Ribbon coming in with their coffee latte thing.
Chocolate milk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it tastes like chocolate milk. I downed the whole thing because it was easy. Easy drinking there. So there are the beers. So don't go away. We'll be back with more wine hops and road stops right after these messages. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome to Beer 101, and on this segment of Beer 101, we're going to talk about what?
Beer hacks.
Beer hacks. I like that. First one,
So first one, what if you got to open a bottle of beer and you don't have a beer opener?
I cry and
Well, if you got a lighter or anything that's kind of lighter shaped,
Okay.
you grab that bottle of beer right up on the neck, get the lighter under your big knuckle, and just squeeze and pop.
and it's going to go flying across
It's
the
gonna
room.
Go flying across the room. Next beer hack. You got to get your beer cold. Wrap your bottle in a wet paper towel. Throw it in the freezer for about 10 minutes. Now you got a cold beer.
Now check that out. This actually works. I've done
If
it.
you only have 2 minutes, take your bottle of beer, put it in a bowl of ice, water, and salt. Mix it around. 2 minutes later, cold beer.
Great.
Is your beer too bitter? If your beer is too bitter, add a little bit of salt. Still too bitter? Add a little bit of juice.
Oh, okay.
What do you do with all the flat beer at the end of the night after a party?
Throw it away.
Make ice cubes.
Oh. Okay.
Make ice cubes, throw it in your beer. You can cool it down without watering it down.
Right, because if you got a warm beer, throw some ice cubes in it that are made of beer,
Right?
and there you go.
And how about steak? You like steak?
I love steak.
Tenderize your steak with beer. Alcohol and steak go very, very well together in a
All the
bag.
time.
Let's talk about the shower. You ever have a shower beer?
Yeah.
If you haven't had a shower beer, you gotta have a shower beer.
Gotta have a shower beer.
But if you don't finish that beer by the end of your shower, use the rest of that beer, dump it right on your head. After you shampoo and conditioner, the acids in the beer will strip away any sort of buildup and stuff on your hair, and you'll have beautiful, shiny locks.
Make your mane look great. Like a power metal singer.
You going out of town for a weekend?
Yes.
You gotta water your plants?
Okay.
Fill a beer bottle with water, shove it upside down in your plant's dirt.
There you go.
Auto water.
And there you go. Craft Beer 101 beer hats by Kevin. Welcome back to Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. We're at the beer stop in West Hazelton. I'm with Alan, and we're talking about Thanksgiving. Now, this show is actually airing the day before Thanksgiving. First time it's airing.
Nice.
So we're going to talk about Thanksgiving, talk about Christmas, talk about all the big dinners that you're going to have this holiday season with your family, your friends, and all that good stuff. Wouldn't it be great if you could go to Thanksgiving dinner and say, hey, everything on this table, I have a beer to match with. Wouldn't that be great?
It'd be amazing if you could find some place to pair beer with.
Yeah, right. So, hey, we're going to do that for you. Every part of your Thanksgiving and or Christmas feast we're going to talk about right now, and what beer you could bring to your table, or at least with style. How's that? Okay, so we got an oven roasted turkey. We're going to suggest an amber or a brown ale. So what do we have?
Well, we have here the Yards Brown, their Brawler. It's a fantastic beer, a little bit heavy, a little thick on the mouthfeel, but not high on the alcohol level and not high on the bitterness either.
Because it's a thicker beer.
Yeah.
It's a tastier beer. It's real full. It's very full bodied. That's a great beer.
It's a take on the Belgian doubles.
Oh, okay. All right, great.
At half the
I
price.
know. That too. There you go. See, always helping to save some money. Next up, if you do a smoked turkey, either a Scotch ale or a porter will go well with that.
Yeah,
What do we have?
I'm always all about the porters, and
Okay.
so Edmund Fitzgerald Porter, one of the best porters out there. You can't go wrong with that.
Great Lakes, another great brewing
or
company.
quite frankly, the one we just tried.
Yeah.
The Victory at Sea. That'd be another fantastic one.
Go with either that one or go with the Edmund Fitzgerald. This is fantastic.
Yeah, that's one of the best there is.
It's a great porter. Absolutely. Next up, gonna have some ham. What we got? A Pilsner?
A Pilsner, and when you go Pilsners, you gotta go the Germans. They make
Mm-hmm.
the best Pilsners. And this is Flensburg Pilsner, I think.
Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know.
Yeah, Flensburger.
Okay, Flensburger. Okay, yeah. You picked an easy to pronounce one.
Yes.
But a good one, too.
Some German guys back there saying, that's not how you say it.
That's all right. Well, you also go with a lager, too, but we
Yeah.
picked the Pilsner because, we could speak German now with this. And it has a nice little top
nice
on
little,
it. A little pop top
yeah,
there.
the old tops.
Love it. Okay, next up, for your vegetables, I usually just throw them away and just push them aside. That's how I eat my vegetables, just throw them in the garbage.
Well, maybe if you dip your vegetables now in a nice wheat beer, maybe that might
Okay,
help it.
all right.
Because I'm the same way. I'm not a vegetable guy,
No.
as you can tell.
So what do we have as far as your vegetables go?
This is Devil's Backbone, the Angel Weiss. Just nice, easy drinking vegetables are very light, so you don't want anything heavy and overpowering.
Okay.
And wheat would go very easily for that.
Yeah, nice. If you're gonna eat your vegetables, which I'm not, so I'll still drink this one though. I don't care. I'll just in the middle.
You'll drink it while everybody else eats the
Yeah,
vegetables.
there you go. Yeah. But I will eat mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes, we got either a spiced ale or a winter warmer. Goes fantastic with some good mashed potatoes and gravy. What do we have?
We got the Harpoon's Winter Warmer. It's a classic one, been out for probably at least 20 years now.
Yeah, that long?
Yeah, it's a great winter warmer.
Yeah, it is. It's like a. You say winter warmer, that's one of the go-tos, really.
Yeah.
It's a basic winter warmer. It is exactly what it says it is. It's going to taste just like a winter warmer should.
Yeah, and you kind of drink it and almost like the potatoes are kind of like a comfort food. That's the same way this beer kind of is. You drink it, just kind of like, ah.
Okay, yeah, I'll go with that. Last but not least, you're going to have some apple pie probably after dinner. What goes well with
Well, you
that?
want something a little sweet, and quite frankly, with your dessert, you can also go back to the Edmund Fitzgerald Porter. The chocolate in that, it also, brings out the chocolate in any desserts, or you can go with the Dunkelweizen.
Okay, so the Dunkel is actually dark, but not really heavy on the alcohol.
Correct, because it's a Dunkelweizen. It's a dark wheat beer. So it's a very light beer, but it's dark in color.
So is it a little bit thicker, a little bit bigger than a wheat beer, maybe? Maybe
Just a hair. Just a hair bigger.
So, but you're
yeah.
getting a little bit fuller of a taste.
Fuller of a taste. You're getting a lot of clove, which is why I think they pair it with the apple pie, because a lot of people put cloves in their apple pie. And so that would be a nice little mixture.
Well, there you go. Your Thanksgiving Day feast is complete. So, let's talk about craft beer. Let's talk about what you have new here.
Well, it's getting cold out, so it's my favorite time of year. So it's stout season. Every day we're getting 5-6 new stouts in. You know, all the Russian Imperials, you know, milk stouts, anything that has the word stout in it, I tend to buy because it's what I drink.
And the Oma Gang, that just came in, right?
Oma Gang just came, pretty much everything you see out here just came in this week as well.
If you have any questions for us, facebook.com/wine hops and road stops. Best way to get in touch with us, ask us a question. We're almost done with this season. We got one more episode, so get your questions in. Listen, life is too short to drink bad beer. So get a good beer, drink it up, and enjoy life. We'll see you next time on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. Thank you. All right.
Cheers.
Yeah.
That vanilla in there is just impressive.
I know,
It really is. So many beers say vanilla, and they're just, it's just
Not
lost.
really vanilla,
It's
yeah.
lost in the beer.
This this vanilla's, it's kicking. I mean, like I said, it smacks you. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of nose to this, a lot of vanilla. Good beer.
Do you need something? No.
I was like, you guys, I could be wrong.
No, go on.
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead. No.
We'll wait.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course, yeah.
No, we'll have you in it.
I don't know if it's like a live thing.